Hello, everyone. We're just going to wait a couple minutes to start. Hi, everybody. We're just waiting a couple minutes to start to get some people jumping in, and we go from there. All right, everyone. Let's kick things off. So my name is Eduardo Pereira. I'm the head of sales for Rocket.chat in North America. I'm your host today for this webinar. I'm very, very excited. We're going to talk about team collaboration and team collaboration 101. And with that, we have two companies here with us today. One is ISG provider Lens. We're going to be talking about them in a little bit. And we also have a use case with one of our clients, Seeking.Alpha. So in this webinar, we're going to have Jonathan Liss, product owner at Seeking.Alpha, and Mrinal Rai. He's the manager and principal analyst at ISG. As I mentioned, we're going to be discussing some key themes of team collaboration, remote work, working from home, data privacy, and secure messaging. Especially with everything that happened in 2020, we're going to bring you a research about it, how that year went in terms of the market and how people are adapting with this. And this is the part that ISG is going to bring to us, as well as how Seeking.Alpha is making the most out of Rocket.chat. They have a unique use case of Rocket.chat that they have Rocket.chat in their marketplace. So just to give you a high-level introduction about Seeking.Alpha, they are the world's largest investing community. They have around 17 million monthly active users, 7,000 contributors publishing information and data, ideas every month about how to invest your money. So that's pretty cool that Seeking.Alpha is here. And then we're gonna jump to ISG provider Lens. For those that don't know, ISG provider Lens is it's the lead of global technology research. They help companies with corporations and also public sector corporations to provide insights and providing excellence and faster growth for those companies by utilizing their data that they can collect. So ISG has a quadrant that they're going to be presenting about 2020. So how that went. So let's get things started. So I would like to invite for this first piece, Jonathan Liss with Seeking.Alpha. Jonathan?
Sure. Welcome, everybody. As Edu said, we are the largest investing site in terms of community of investors. We are, I think I was just looking at our similar web rankings. I think we're 9th globally in terms of audience. And I'm just going to share my screen here so I can show everybody how we're using Rocket.chat specifically. Can everybody see my screen here?
Yep, I can see your screen.
All right, excellent.
And I'll have a lot of questions for you, Jonathan.
Awesome. All right, I'll be ready for that. Definitely. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is a picture of our homepage. This is open to all free users on the site. As Edu said, it's about 17 million uniques on average. And this is the desktop version of the website. Of course, the majority of our users are actually on mobile at this point, either via mobile web or via our apps. The way that we monetize Seeking Alpha is a couple of different ways. First of all, we sell ads. In 2020, of course, though, our ad revenue did not really meet expectations as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And so what we saw was really a massive uptick in our subscription products. We offer a premium product, and then we also offer a marketplace of products. And what the marketplace is essentially 180 and counting different investing communities where people come in and they offer investing advice, or they have communal discussions about how best to invest money. And people pay for direct access to the people that are running these services, to the data that they put out. Often it's proprietary data. And so as you can see, you can access the Seeking Alpha marketplace from really the top of the site over here. And we have a list of all 180 services. People can check by themes. They can filter by prices, by whether free trials are offered or not. And so far, where we are with the marketplace is that 180 different investing communities. The marketplace is roughly 5 years old at this point. We've got 45,000 paying subscribers. And in 2020, the marketplace grew at over a 100% rate in terms of how many subscribers we had. So I think we finished the year with maybe 37 or 38,000 subscribers, and we had just under half that number to start the year. So 2020 really was the key year for our marketplace, and we're hoping to continue the positive momentum forward.
I have a question for you on that, Jonathan, pretty
Sure.
briefly about that number. So 101% growth in 2020 is amazing. So what is the main reason? Do you think was because of the new reality with COVID? Or what was that brought that number to you guys?
Yeah, sure. So, and we saw similar growth in our premium product also. I think it really was, by and large, the coronavirus pandemic. The fact that people were not coming into their offices anymore. They were sitting at home. And as you can see here, I think a really big story that people will probably be familiar with from the beginning of this year was the whole Reddit Wall Street bets, pushing stocks like GameStop up to really just insane heights. And I think that 2020, I mean, we have also had a shift in focus towards subscription products, because our feeling is that the incentives in terms of what users are looking for are much better aligned when someone is paying you directly and you simply have to provide quality for them in return, as opposed to advertising where you're really fighting for eyeballs, and maybe you're using bombastic headlines or tactics to get people onto the site so you can monetize those eyeballs. But I really do think, by and large, because we're a site that focuses on stock market opinion and analysis, investing information, that because of how massive day trading and longer term investing became in 2020, it really just propelled our marketplace and our subscription products to new heights as a result of that.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I like to be making money while I'm sitting at home. That's for sure.
Totally. Yeah. We had so much feedback from people who were saying this is something I wanted to do, but I just knew sitting at my desk that my supervisor or whoever in an office wouldn't have been acceptable. But when people are sitting at home, they can multitask a little better. They could jump off for half an hour on their lunch break. And so it definitely opened things up to us. And I think it's probably safe to assume that people are not going back to their offices that quickly. And in many cases, they're only going to be going back a couple days a week or not at all. I think this has really been a sea change in terms of work habits and the way that companies are organizing. And so I expect that a lot of this revenue that we picked up here is going to be sticky and isn't going to disappear once the pandemic ends, but rather we'll probably just keep on moving further in this trend.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. So 2020, again, in 2021, people will probably be familiar with things like the Robinhood trading platform. They pioneered commission-free trading on there. Of course, all of the other brokerage platforms followed suit after that. And then towards the beginning of this year, this idea that investors could get together in specific places in the internet, and they could come together around specific story stocks, specific themes, and work as a community, and the whole would be greater than the sum of the parts. This is really what we've been seeing on the SeekingAlpha marketplace for years before places like Wall Street Bets, the famous Reddit room that I think has 3 or 4 million people in it at this point, pushed stocks like GameStop up 17,000% in a week, or whatever the specific numbers were there. And so the way that it works is somebody comes into the marketplace. Let's say they're subscribed to specific service. They have the longer form research that gets written up. But what we've done is, because the community really is the centerpiece here, we've taken Rocket.chat and we've integrated it into the fabric of the SeekingAlpha marketplace. Somebody comes into their service, let's say at the beginning of the day. They have various ways to launch chat. This is also the case on the mobile web and on the app, where this little button is sticky over here, as is this one. As they scroll down the page, the prompt to launch chat is with them the entire time. And we also have email notifications and push notifications, and these are all configured via Rocket.chat, where, for example, if somebody writes an add all message, they're talking about day trading the S&P 500 in this case, it triggers both to subscribers' email account and also to their inbox, as well as a push notification right on their mobile device, so that they're really being pulled into chat in real time to be able to take advantage of the information. And so the way that this actually looks is, sorry?
I was going to say, that's the real-time piece I think is very crucial for your type of business, right? Like, things change pretty fast and the information changes pretty fast. So the user needs to get the message in real time to be able to execute accordingly, correct?
Yes, absolutely. If the information is not real time, then it loses value very significantly. And so this is not a nice to have kind of a feature. This is a must have feature, where it's not enough for people to be getting an email notification or hear a ping inside of Rocket.chat. They actually need to see it on their phone in real time so that they can jump right into the conversation, take advantage of the information that's being offered. And so here you can see the Rocket.chat. This is the web version of Rocket.chat, where the user clicks launch chat. It logs them in automatically, and we have the security configured via SeekingAlpha. So we make sure that the user is actually logged in. We authenticate them via our site header, and then we bring them into the room that they're coming into. This is a data-driven investor. It's a very popular service. I've blotted out people's names just so we're not giving away names of actual users. But as you can see, there's people raising different conversations about different stocks here. You have access to all of the different rooms that you're a member of over here. There are rooms like this, alerts and announcements, or here the read form trades, read only, where the people running the services, they don't want the signal to be lost in the noise. So there's rooms that are really suitable for conversations. And then there's rooms that are really more like bulletin boards, where they're just a list of trades or of announcements, and anybody can come in can see what's happened recently without having to wade through an entire conversation. So this is also something which I think is really great about Rocket.chat, the ability to customize different rooms in different sorts of ways. We even have services that are saying we want to reward people that have been with us for a long time. And so they've created, for example, here, Bad Beat Investing VIP room. This is for people that have been members of the service for more than 24 months already. He's created a special VIP experience for them, again, using Rocket.chat as the backdrop of all of that.
That's awesome, Jonathan. That's amazing. You're really using Rocket.chat a lot there. I'm just curious. How do you organize things? How do you prioritize things inside of Rocket.chat? Since I'm seeing that you are heavy user, as we say, like really using Rocket.chat for every single piece in your organization, externally and internally. So yeah, let me know how do you organize this today so it doesn't get out of control?
Well, so sure. So to be clear, we actually are not using it across the entire organization. This is really set aside specifically for our paying subscribers. So for those 45,000 plus users that are paying to access one of our 180 marketplace investing services. In terms of the free users on the site, the 17 million and change that we get each month, they don't get that tight-knit community experience. Sure, they have comments on specific articles, but Rocket.chat, I think, is so full on in terms of how engaging it can be that this is something that we've gated specifically. So it's something that you have to actually pay to get access to. And then once you get access to the services, so one of the other things which is great about Rocket.chat is that the entire thing is totally streamlined. So somebody signs up for a service, goes into our payment processor, and then our production database actually has a record of who deserves to have access to which room. And so we automatically add subscribers into rooms. And if somebody unsubscribes from the service, when the subscription lapses, we run a job and they're removed from the room. So as opposed to somebody having to do this manually, the entire thing is automated. So even though Rocket.chat is a third-party tool, when they get access to these services, they also are automatically added or removed from specific rooms here. And so, again, it's not across the entire organization. Okay. It's actually kind of just the creme de la creme. The people that pay us directly for subscription products are the ones that get access to Rocket.chat. We consider it too valuable an experience to give out to free users that we're simply monetizing through advertising, because, again, there is no advertising inside of Rocket.chat, and I certainly don't think we would want there to be advertising there. I think it would ruin the purity of the user experience there.
Right, that makes sense. And just a quick note here, guys, if everyone in the webinar wants to ask questions to Jonathan and myself, please do so. We're more than happy to answer those questions in real time here for you guys. All right, Jonathan, I'll let you continue. Thanks so much for this.
Yeah, sure. So here you can see the mobile interface. And again, you've got the various rooms you're a member of. I personally prefer the mobile interface. Of course, I use it on desktop too, but I just think that as great as Rocket.chat is on desktop, both in the web and the desktop client, I think the real action is in the mobile version of Rocket.chat, and it seems like it just keeps on getting better every single time I log onto it. So really, really awesome in terms of that. So just kind of a breakdown of what our current presence is here. We've got 700 different private rooms in Rocket.chat. And again, this is divided up between 180 services. So there are many services that just have a single room. Some of our services are not very big. It's a marketplace. We have very successful services, less successful ones. We also have services that are literally using 20 and 30 different rooms, and we make it very easy for them to set these up. And again, it's streamlined. They create a new room about a new stock that they're covering or a new segment of the market. It automatically imports all of their users into the room, and then they can set it up and decide, is this kind of a bulletin board? Is it read-only? How do I want things to look here exactly? We've got up to 20,000 concurrent users on the servers that we have running Rocket.chat, which is pretty incredible. If you think about it, it's practically 50% of all subscribers will be on at the same time. Of course, if you think about a day where the market is just absolutely getting slaughtered, people that pay for investing research are likely to try to figure out what's going on in real time. And so put into that context, on a regular day where things aren't going particularly crazy, we'll be more like 8 or 10,000 concurrent users in the middle of that market day. But when things have gotten absolutely crazy over the last year, we've actually seen the numbers spike like crazy. And thankfully, changes that Rocket has made to their to the architecture have made it possible for us to scale up without really seeing any performance issues, which is obviously very important when you go from 10 to 20,000 concurrent users in a short matter of time. We've got more than 230,000 direct conversations between users and tens of thousands of messages posted to the platform literally each day, and hundreds of thousands of emails and push notifications that are generated as a result of it. Anyway, I'm here if anybody's got questions, but I foresee us continuing to double down on our relationship with Rocket.chat, particularly with the Rocket.chat marketplace and with microservices. There are a lot of really cool features that I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of. For example, one feature that I know are the people running the services or service providers are clamoring for is the polling tool within Rocket.chat, where you can poll your users directly and get quick feedback either on what kind of ideas they should be covering or what the customer service looks like. And that's something that we want to be moving forward on. So definitely a big part of our roadmap going forward as well.
That is awesome, Jonathan. Thank you so much. And I was really, really impressed with the 20,000 people at the same time engaging with your company. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So one question related to that, like you mentioned that you have Rocket.chat in your servers, right? Like, were you part of that implementation as well?
So, I mean, our DevOps team handles that, but yeah, we use MongoDB to host Rocket.chat cloud here. And so again, obviously, Rocket.chat is storing a lot of the data on its end, but in terms of the actual performance of the servers, the ability to handle large numbers of concurrent users, we handle that in-house on our end. We have a team of dedicated people that's able to take care of that.
Absolutely. Awesome. So I don't know if anyone else has questions for Jonathan. If not, we're gonna move to Mrinal Rai with ISG. Jonathan, thank you so much. Again, this was really, that was awesome. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Awesome. Mrinal, you have the floor, my friend. So as I mentioned before, ISG is the leading company of research, and you guys ran a quadrant in 2020. I want to understand a little bit more ISG, how you guys ran that quadrant, and what does that mean to the public here today?
Sure, Eduardo. Thank you so much for inviting me, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on whichever part of the planet you are seeing this webinar from. My name is Mrinal Rai. I'm Principal Analyst at Information Services Group, ISG. And today I'm here to talk about team collaboration, productivity enhancement, and enterprise collaboration. So I'm a Principal Analyst here writing research reports around digital workplace, enterprise collaboration, conversational AI. So I can quickly share my screen. Can you please share my screen here? Perfect.
Yes, you're sharing your screen.
Okay, So
I'll do the presenting mode. Yes, perfect.
okay. Sure. So, Eduardo, though you already mentioned everything about ISG at an overall level, I'll just quickly touch upon who ISG is. We are a leading global research and sourcing advisory firm. We advise clients on operational efficiency, sourcing transactions. We have large number of clients across the globe. There are a couple of numbers here for you to consume. That I would just highlight here the 150 billion number here. That is the sheer scale of transactions that we advise on, that 150 billion of outsourcing deals that ISG has advised since 2010. And every year, around 18 billion of transactions are advised by ISG. We do provide strategic sourcing, operational improvement, and change management services, in addition to helping clients and service providers enhance and cooperate with their relationship. There are three levers: research, digital outsourcing, advisory, and platform services. I won't go much into details on all these three. I would touch upon the research part because that's where I come from. So ISG research complements ISG sourcing advisory practice. Like ISG sourcing advisors, when they go to enterprise customer on their sourcing technology buying decision, they take input from ISG research. And same way, when ISG research does a study on vendor comparison or enterprise technology, we take input from these sourcing advisors who actually work with the clients when the technology is being implemented. There are a couple of products with ISG research. Again, lot many products you can see from ISG's website. I am part of Provider Lens team or a research product. So what ISG Provider Lens does, we create vendor comparison reports and service providers benchmarking reports covering a lot of service areas, domains, and technologies. So we do position them in a graphical way. We call it quadrant. Now I know you might have seen these magic quadrants or waves from many other firms. So how do we differ? So what distinguishes us from the rest is we provide a comprehensive coverage. Now it's better said than seen. You can When we say comprehensive coverage, we take one domain, say digital workplace, and we cover entire spectrum of that domain or technology. You can think about, if you go to any other research firm, they may be doing that inside maybe with 10 different reports, and maybe there may be still be areas that they are not covering, but we cover them in one report and give to enterprise clients so that they can make an informed decision, because all these areas are adjacently related. We provide country level quadrants, like you may be getting quadrants of vendor comparison maybe at a regional level, like North America, Europe, APAC, but you may not find any vendor comparison done at a USA level or UK level or Brazil or Germany. We do that. uh, our research is different. We said practitioner-led research. Now, most of the research or MQs that you see, they would present a vendor in the top right quadrant and they walk away. They don't see that when a client actually implements a leader solution, what challenges they face. Our sourcing advisors stay with the client. They'll make sure that these services are giving proper results or not. And that way, our research is more prescriptive, and it is not educative.
Got it.
So,
Go ahead. Sorry, I have a question for you in a little bit.
Sure. So just to let you know that this year we are celebrating 15 years of being into existence and educating the industry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So just out of curiosity, does that help big corporations, medium-sized corporations, small corporations, or all of them?
So most of our clients are from big corporations. When I say 700 clients, we have those Fortune 500 top companies as our customers. But having said that, we do have sizable influence and growing influence in the SMB market as well. As you can see, especially from the workplace side, I can say, because I've been doing this report for many years now, the changes and the things that affect in the SMB market actually have the repercussions in the enterprise market. SMBs start a culture that are later adopted by the large enterprises, be it workplace technology, collaboration, or anything you can ask for. So yes, majorly large enterprises, but our focus is increasing towards SMBs as well.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just talk a little bit about Digital Workplace of the Future report that we did last year. ISG, I've been writing this report for last 4 years and have been doing research on this topic for many years. So when I say comprehensive coverage, this is the example. When we say workplace, we have different vendor comparison criteria and graphics and research analytics around diverse topics within workplace. You call it managed services by some system integrators, service providers. You call mobility, device management. When you call up enterprise collaboration, things like virtual desktop, unified communication, everything covered in a report. Of course, there are it's not the same kind of vendors compared in all the quadrants. Of course, the competitive landscape is different, but when but everything is under the gamut of the decision making for a business users. So like if the CIO, he has to take the decision on a workplace technology, so he has to cover all those areas, and he may not be looking for two different reports for these kind of decisions. Now these reports are written for different geographies. I said US, UK, Brazil, Nordic, and Germany last year. Now to give you an idea about the coverage, for last year's workplace study, we had 3 quadrants on services quadrant, or the global SIs. We cover consulting services, managed workplace services, managed mobility services. What is relevant for this discussion today is digital workplace solutions, where we cover different software solution vendors providing unified endpoint management, device management capabilities, enterprise collaboration, meeting and conferencing solutions. So today's focus will be on the last 2 quadrants, enterprise collaboration solutions and meeting and conferencing solutions. Now you may be asking that what is the difference and why do we have 2 different quadrants on collaboration? So this is different for different regions. For this study, if you compare the same digital workplace of the future report from ISG, say in a region like UK and Nordics, you may find both these quadrants combined into one, because the clients still are using the similar terminologies or similar scope of services. While when we talk to US clients, we understood that despite of having a meeting and conferencing solutions, they found that it is not enough to provide productivity and collaboration within their enterprises. So depending on customer choices, we bifurcated these quadrants into 2, and I can show you the quadrants later, or if you have any questions right now on this, I can answer.
Absolutely. Just curious, like there's the regions are very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. Like you have popularity for some applications, some platforms are more famous or more popular in some regions than others, and that was kind of like I wanna also see here, because that's very interesting. Like some platforms that we have here in the US that we've been using that we don't even know, but in Europe is a big deal. Those type of things.
Sure. So the difference, Eduardo, comes from IC sourcing advisory experience, because we have been advising clients on different regions, and we talk to those customers, and based on what we hear from the clients, we make those decisions and diversifications.
Awesome.
So meeting and conferencing solution quadrant. Now, already Jonathan has touched upon how pandemic has shifted the way of working and remote working, and I won't be repeating the same things. As you all know, everybody's working from home mostly, and since the start of the pandemic, and this has changed a lot of things. Now meeting and conferencing solutions were already there in workplace technologies domain for a long time, but they were not being exploited and not being used for the extent of their capabilities. The pandemic has changed that, and this is the quadrant that we did for this study. Now there are a couple of things I'll also touch base later in this presentation on how the space is evolving. So you see there are some vendors specific to, say, providing what used to be called erstwhile unified communication and collaboration, now focusing specifically on meeting and conferencing, because video meetings, audio meetings are something that was heavily used in the pandemic times. If you see on the right hand side, there are some key observations in the report, and key things that they've distinguished the leaders from the rest. So of course, online communication and interaction was something that qualified these vendors to be part of this quadrant. And of course, these solutions also enable to have the employee engaged to the organization through corporate communications and all. Although that was not the primary functionality of these solutions, the key differentiator for most of the solutions in both meeting, conferencing, and collaboration is how can you extend the functionality from within the internal enterprise to your external workers, and that's what Jonathan was touching upon. So how you can connect with the folks outside your organization, not really the contractors or customers or gig workers. And another important factor that clients are looking every day today is how many integrations that these solutions can support. How can you integrate it with your existing software solutions, CRM vendors, and maybe ERP vendors? And of course, security is getting increasingly important aspect in enterprise communication and collaboration space. So these were the leaders here. we see the challengers in this category are the ones. Of course, it's all self-explanatory, but I would just say that that in the y-axis are the ones who have a very good product. That portfolio of product is very attractive. Like, I mean, they offer the complete stack and much beyond that. And the vendors or solution providers who are leading the x-axis are very strong in the market. They have good revenue, good number of clients, and beyond the average. So if a vendor or solution provider is good in both, then they are the leaders. So that's the way we look at these quadrants. The challengers in this category were providing a robust solution for communication and collaborate and conferencing. And you can see the leaders here. We have identified Rocket.chat as a strong product challenger in the US because of the capabilities in security. That is one of the key areas that you have, and the open source capabilities. That is the key differentiator for Rocket.chat that we found out.
Yep, this is pretty interesting. It completely resonates what we're living right now in Rocket.chat. So they're asking for a secure platform, right? We need to have a secure platform that everybody can rely on, especially around data, GDPR, and the new law of California. So we've seen that, and we are complying with all of those things, as well as you mentioned, integrations, software integrations.
Yep.
In our case, Rocket.chat, we are open source platform, so we can integrate with multiple platforms. But I think one of the goals with all that integrations, it's the new pain that they're having with communication which is the message silos, right? So
yep.
Everybody's using a lot of different platforms out there, and they all of a sudden everybody goes home. Well, which one should I communicate with? Right, with Mrinal, for example. Like, do I use Rocket.chat? Do I use something else, or can I use both integrated? So those integrations and software integrations with CRMs and those type of things are. We've been seeing the same trend in Rocket.chat. So as you mentioned, the user, it's a more educated user. They don't just need like a one-to-one chat platform. They need more than that. So we agree with this report.
Sure. So and regarding your point about which solution to use, the kind of confusion, I'll also touch upon that in this slide later. Just look at the other quadrant. Now we have seen meeting and conferencing, and there may be some vendors who are repeating here, but there are a few new vendors in this space, and you will see the difference that these two quadrants are trying to address. The first quadrant was about whether users are able to connect to others through chat, through voice, or through audio or video. The focus, of course, collaboration is an inevitable consequence of that interaction. But collaboration and productivity is not the real focus of those solutions. We have carved out the enterprise collaboration solution space separately, and there are some new players out of in this quadrant which are not there in the previous one. So when we talk of workplace engagement, some are started calling it employee engagement solutions instead of enterprise collaboration, because that is becoming more and more important. That when people are not in office, they're working remotely. How do you ensure that they are engaged in their work? How do you ensure that they are working productively? So it may include enterprise social collaboration, the ESNs, the groupware knowledge management. How are they supporting the emails, replacing the emails, or helping them reduce emails? And the productivity of teams and productivity of individual is the prime focus area for these kind of solutions. They should be available irrespective of all devices and all technological ecosystem. And mostly these solutions are cloud based. So we have a couple of vendors here. The leaders are a little changed. We still have Rocket.chat here because we have seen the functionality of Rocket.chat and how it distinguishes itself from the rest. That it does not provide a platform to let people connect. But I don't need to say more about it because we just heard the amazing story from Jonathan that how it is actually helping them increase the business and helping the customers interact flawlessly.
That's perfect. Yeah. So so Rocket.chat, that's very interesting that you mentioned the cloud-based software solution. So Rocket.chat, probably you guys know we have both. We can deploy on premises and as well as in the cloud. It's interesting that even being in the cloud, we need to have a secure platform there.
Yes.
In terms of locations and things like that, that's all something that we've been seeing a lot, and it pretty much resonates again with our market for sure.
Sure, and just FYI, this was created before Salesforce acquired Slack, so that change is not
Oh,
reflected
I
in
see.
this project.
Yeah, that pretty much shows that we're going to the right direction there. Another piece that you mentioned in terms of teams and emails and those type of things. Rocket.chat also we developed that piece as well, right? We wanted to have teams incorporated inside of Rocket.chat when an employee of Rocket.chat started at Rocket.chat using Rocket.chat, they automatically get all those channels customized and those type of things to to increase productivity. So it relates to that piece of the teams that you mentioned.
Sure. If I just take one more minute around that, I'll just explain how the scope of enterprise collaboration is expanding. So first, enterprises would look at a communication infrastructure, which is still many clients call it UCaaS or CPaaS, Unified Communication. So it's a communication platform as a service, which basically provide voice, telephony, messaging, chat, online meetings. That was the case for many years. Now, going forward, we have now meeting and conferencing solution, which provides collaboration not as a primary function, but of course a secondary function. They offer me video conferencing, and on top of that, we have these productivity and enterprise team collaboration solutions. Now, there are a couple of other areas, vendors from different areas who are also cut across and intersect with this category. For example, if a productivity and enterprise team collaboration solution also offers calendar integration, employee engagement kind of functionality, they may intersect with the vendors who are offering sort of intranet functionality that provide wiki blogging, discussion forum, news from news feeds and intranet, and that is what we used to call, still call it, enterprise social network or ESNs. That's why we see the likes of Workplace by Facebook getting competing with the likes of MS Teams and Rocket.chat, of course, and another area is about, say, file sharing, co-authoring or co-editing and working on different documents, managing the versions and what you call version control. And this is the area of enterprise file sync and share vendors, something like Box and Dropbox. And they are, so they are also intersecting with the productivity and enterprise team collaboration space. Last but not the least, and increasingly gaining importance, is the task management features, which I think Rocketeer is very good at. How the productivity solution is also able to manage the task management piece, like task management piece, like you are managing the projects, the likes of Asana and new vendors in the workflow automation customization. They are also integrating in this big gamut. So that's how the scope is kind of expanding. Now, the confusion that you talk about is actually arising from who is making the decision. It is not a decision of the enterprise IT organization alone. If they are the one who are deciding, they may be looking at the communication infra piece, the meeting conferencing piece. At the max, they can also look at the EFSS part. The moment they go into the ESN part or employee engagement, they would need the input from the human resource organization of the company, who are playing an increasingly important role in workplace collaboration. And if they are also going towards the LOBs or the business units, they also include the workflow automation kind of guys. So in a client organization, the more people you involve, the diverse needs that you can generate out of those business functions, you can incorporate all these areas. So that's how you see all of them compete with each other. I'll just take a pause if you have any questions on this.
No, that's amazing. I think, and then think about a little bit about, take a step back and think about Rocket.chat a little bit. We're in all of those areas, but the way you put it there was pretty interesting. Like to see, like, okay, now we have this piece, but how can we have the other piece of the Teams piece combined with all those other functionalities, and they're only not features, but they're like workflows.
You don't,
right?
Yeah, you don't have to actually. That's the beauty of it. Like I've seen clients with because we talk to clients every day, and they may have something like MS Teams. They know it's or they may have a Cisco solution for meeting and conferencing, but when they go for a collaboration solution, they ask ISG which vendor to choose from, and we advise on different vendors, and then Cisco tells them that, oh, hey, we also offer this capability. They say we don't see you as a collaboration solution vendor. So that's a kind of confusion that clients are having with different vendors offering multiple capabilities. So is it good to have so many things combined into one solution, or is it good to have pockets of different solutions offering different capabilities? Of course, if everything is into one solution, it's easier for IT to manage, but productivity may be limited.
Got it. And Mrinal, just out of curiosity, how long did you take to put all this together again?
We do this study, Eduardo, for every year. Like I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've seen this space evolve. So if you ask for the report itself, it takes around 5 to 6 months to start the process, generate
Wow.
call for participation and all, and we don't charge any service provider for that. If the participation is free. So Rocket.chat participated in our study. We have a detailed questionnaire for, asking for your capabilities, and we also have briefings with these vendors, and we have our own evaluation criteria to judge to rank the providers on that, and that's how we do it.
Amazing. I think we have Jonathan back here. Jonathan, do you have? That was a lot of explanation. That was a lot of data, good data for all of us. Jonathan, do you have any questions for Mrinal?
No, not particularly. Although, yeah, it's I really did find it really interesting how you're integrating all of the different pieces together into a single stack there. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to see all that data combined. Is that study available somewhere, Mrinal, that we can share that with the public somehow, or is it public?
The chart that I showed you? No, I just created that. I can share that
okay.
to you. Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, and the study as well is side of ISG website, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So we just did our future workplace summit, in which we so many clients joined, and we told them about how the workplace is evolving to focus more on the physical side of it, human side of it, and digital side of it, especially in the post-pandemic world. So the couple of interactions out there, and we're happy to connect. And of course, details are available on our website. ISG1.com is the website.
Perfect. Sounds great. And if you guys are okay with this, I would like to share your presentations for the people that participated in the webinar. I think it was very cool to see, from the SeekingAlpha perspective. I think it was pretty cool. We have a question for you, Jonathan, but I think it's pretty cool to see the presentation there, how you guys utilizing Rocket.chat. So if someone wants that, if you're okay with that, I can make it available for who wants it. And I think Bruno Fontoura has a question for you here.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, definitely feel free to go ahead and share that. I didn't share any actual revenue numbers because
okay, so that's good.
But in terms of numbers of subscribers and how we're using Rocket.chat, yeah, that's great. I've got no issues with that whatsoever. In terms of how we're using reports and metrics within Rocket.chat, so we actually use them in a couple of different ways. One thing that we're doing is, of course, just to make sure that the performance is stable and steady. When we do have specific performance issues, maybe some latencies, we do try to look at what's going on concurrently, what kinds of specific behaviors that might be putting stress on the servers, that kind of standard stuff. I think more along the lines of what you're probably getting at here. One thing that we do is we want to make sure that the service providers of the 180 different services we have really are interacting with subscribers in a very regular sort of a way, that they are giving the white glove treatment, that they're giving the personal touch. And what we're able to do is we generate a bunch of different reports where we are able to see, okay, this service provider hasn't been in chat in X amount of time, or hasn't interacted with people in this amount of time. And so certainly that's something which allows us to, because it's hard to go in to 700 rooms and see what's going on. We're able to automate that. Likewise, when it comes to subscribers, if we're looking at subscribers that are maybe more likely to be churning out of the service, we'll look at how much they're actually interacting with the platform, and we can build a profile of subscribers that maybe are not getting the most out of it, we can have somebody on our customer success team reach out to them and maybe give them just a quick overview of how to get the most out of Rocket.chat, how to make sure that they're actually getting the alerts, because occasionally people will turn them off by accident, or they won't be configured, and suddenly they don't think that anything's been happening in chat, and the reality is they've just disabled alerts for whatever reason. So we are able to actually drill down, and both in terms of the people providing the services and the people subscribed to them, take a look and get a snapshot based on their Rocket.chat behavior of exactly what, how much they're getting out of the platform, whether they're likely to churn, or whether they're doing the best job that they could be doing in terms of providing service to their subscribers.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming that all of those metrics and reports, you guys make business decisions out of those numbers, correct?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, and then for the marketplace, I have a question for you, Jonathan, specifically. I know SeekingAlpha has a lot of different, hands or fingers in terms of like different businesses, and marketplace is one of them. Just curious how everything started with Rocket.chat, because before you guys, I don't know if the marketplace is newer than the other places, or you always had marketplace. I just want to understand a little bit of the history there.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely did not always have a marketplace. We started in 2004. The founder of the company, David Jackson, from London originally, but had moved to New York to work for Morgan Stanley as a tech analyst, and left Morgan Stanley in 2002 as the tech bubble unwinded and unwound, and was just kind of figuring out what his next moves were, and realized that there's all this amazing stock market opinion and analysis happening on the internet, but the issue is it's really hard to actually locate it. And so he registered SeekingAlpha.com with this notion that we were going to try to democratize investing information and research. And so we actually were initially, for the first 2 or 3 years, just building up the site. And then we're only ad supported well into this decade, I would say. So from 2004 till 2014, we didn't have a single subscription product. Everything was ad supported. Company had several rounds of venture capital funding. And the idea was, build a product, make it really sticky. Don't worry about monetizing it. Just build up an audience. You'll monetize it once it becomes a regular part of people's workflow and their daily lives. In 2014, we launched our Pro product, which is our oldest product, and also in terms of revenue and subscribers, the smallest of the bunch. And the marketplace followed on in late 2015, was very slow moving at first, though, in terms of the uptick and the adoption of it. And again, our focus was really still just on free usage of the site at that point. I think maybe we probably discussed this once in the past, but when we first rolled out the marketplace, we did have an idea that we needed to have real-time chat with people getting alerts. And so we made a go at building our own chat client. And for the first year and a half or so, that's what powered, that was the chat inside of our marketplace. We're talking about a period when we had 1,000 subscribers, then 2,000. And it was honestly just a total failure. You learn from these things. Yeah. We have no core competency in building chat, both on the client side and the server side. So we weren't thinking clearly about the types of features that users need when they're using a chat product, how to organize information within a chat client. And then on the server side, when we would have a spike from like 500 to 1,000 concurrent users, the system would crash. So it was just not architectured properly. Again, right. There's companies that simply only work on this. So maybe it was a little bit of hubris that we thought we could put 5 developers and a product person in a room and do this ourselves. But what happened at that point is that I was not involved with Marketplace at the time. I was actually working for our marketing team on the product side of that. But our head of product at the time said, we need a chat product, but we need one which is, first of all, turnkey, which is fully integrated, because again, we have subscribers coming in and out all the time, and everything has to be automated. And we also need a product that's open source so that we can make additions to it. So for example, we have all of our own data tracking embedded in Rocket.chat. We're able to tweak the code in that way and gather data that we want specifically. And there's other ways that we're taking advantage of the fact that it's open source architecture and not a closed end-to-end system like Slack is. And then it's also just is more competitive on the pricing side. So it also makes sense when you're scaling to 45,000 people and, you know, maybe your margin on a subscription is $5 a month. If you give that $5 to Slack, then you have no margin anymore on that subscription. So, but the open source piece of this is definitely really important to us also. And you guys already started making the move into React on your code base. We're moving fully into React at this point. So just another nice overlap there that's worked out really, really well for us.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That was great. I think we can move maybe some questions. Mrinal, do you have any final thoughts on from your end?
Just a couple of points about. I know we are just close to the end of the webinar, but what to expect in coming years, and what do we see? So again, increasing focus on video meetings, but we are also seeing terms like Zoom gloom coming, like there are too much webinars and too many video conferencing. So it's not just a technology solution anymore. It's also about your culture. So how to make people work better? Like if you have a 1 hour video meetings every day, 4 to 5 meetings in a day, is too much for an employee that they cannot work at all. So maybe enterprises can think of changing the way it work, like a 1 hour meeting reduced to 25 minutes. If it gets reduced, what will be the impact? Like you may ask few questions, you may have to change some business process flows. So you should always remember that the client should always remember that it's not just solution, it's the culture of your company that needs to be changed in these remote working areas. And there are a lot of new opportunities with the solutions like Rocket.chat. Let people experiment with these solutions, let them develop their digital dexterity and digital adroitness, and maybe we'll see a smarter breed of employees in coming years and months.
That's a great thought, because every company is unique in their culture, but how the technology that we have today can adapt to that, or we can adapt to that technology, vice versa. That's a great point. Awesome, guys. This was amazing. Jonathan, thank you so much for the use case of SeekingAlpha, explaining SeekingAlpha. Your vertical is amazing, as we know right now. Everybody, needs to be, smart and make some money somehow and get the right, tips and advices from a reliable company that's SeekingAlpha. So that's awesome. Mrinal, thank you so much for the study that relates completely and resonates completely with what we're seeing, the demand from our customers. You heard, Jonathan, a lot of the things that you mentioned in your study resonates as well as with Jonathan's comments on how he's using the platform. If we don't have any other questions, I think right now, how can people reach out to you guys? I think if you can leave your point of contact so people can reach out. I think Jonathan just did there, the SeekingAlpha.com, but
yeah, mine is straight up. Anybody who wants to reach me, it's just Jonathan at SeekingAlpha.com. The advantage of being in the company early is that all the other Jonathans have to have an initial after their email. Mine's just Jonathan at. So.
That's awesome. We have the same problem with some names here in Rocket.chat. That's really great. You got lucky on that one.
Yeah.
And Mrinal?
Yeah, so mine is Mrinal.Rai at ISG-1.com. I can try to put it on chat. Maybe you can share it with the audience.
Okay. Please. People are saying, please do.
Yep.
And then Okay, let's do that. And I'm Eduardo. You guys can reach out to me at eduardo.pereira@rocket.chat. We got Mrinal on the screen right now. And then you have myself. Please feel free to reach out. If you guys want to see other webinars like this, more than happy to host these webinars. I think this was fun and very informative. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you, Eduardo, for giving the opportunity, and thank you, Mrinal.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.